Good afternoon and thank you for joining us today. My name is Vamshi. We have an excellent presentation for you today. I have a request for starting the webinar to delay by about 2 to 3, about 20 seconds more. We have some people still joining us. Kindly hold on for a few minutes. So we'll start in about 3-2. That's about 1 minute from now. I have few more people joining. Thank you for taking your time. We are glad you are here. Today we're going to talk about several things we are doing to build one of the best projects in Bangalore, and I'm sure you will love it. So we'll wait for a minute more and we'll come back and we'll start the presentation. Thank you for your patience. All right, so we'll go ahead. Good afternoon. Thank you once again for joining us. We are glad you are here. In this presentation, over the next 1 hour or so, we'll try and explain to you what we have planned, what we are designing in our new project at Electronic City. The project is called Vijayanagara Eco Village. We are approaching the project in a slightly different manner. When you look at real estate projects, you will see you would have seen hundreds of projects in your career, and you would have seen many people talking about their homes. I'm sure you'll find our project slightly interesting and different from what we are doing. So let's go ahead. I understand that some people are still joining, but still let's start and introduce ourselves. So I have two of my colleagues here to help out with us in the presentation today. So Indu is joining us today. She's one of our architecture team, and she has close to a decade of experience in design. Indu, I don't think they can see you.
1 second.
So I'm also joined by my colleague Teja. Teja is handles community connect in our office, and he comes with close to 2 decades of experience in banking, design, insurance, and close to 1 decade experience in real estate. We have all been associated for more than close to a decade now, and we have a beautiful presentation for you today. So let me start off with the presentation. Thank you once again for joining us. If you are having any problem with, if you are able to hear my voice and if you have any problem, please join. So I understand there are some people who are trying to join and they're not able to reach. All right, so let's start. So we are Estate.one. Our mission is to connect communities. We are not a regular real estate company. We're a company that's based on technology, research, and we believe that if the property is really good, we don't have to sell to people. If the property is designed in a way that stands out, people will automatically come and buy. So this is what we believe in, and we have a project that will explain to you how we are bringing a smart city approach with Eco Village. So the project is called Vijayanagara Eco Village, and this is located in Jigini, Bangalore. We'll have in detailed discussion. So what we try to do is we try to create a village when we are all boxed up and living in places where we don't even know our neighbors. We are very, very far away from sustainable living, and we don't have access to good quality of water, for example, air, and we are facing all these problems. We said, okay, let us look at a project in such a way that we can, if we provide all this, will it look like a village? Provide you will have something that you really love. So in terms of the village, what we usually have are these things. In a normal village, you will see that there is a lot of emphasis on sustainable living. People live together, consume the resources that they want, and grow most of the things that they want inside the community. We also have a lot of multi-generational spaces and people living, which means that you'll have people who are younger generation, people who are older generation. All these things, all these people live together in harmony. Lot of trees are also one of the important things that people in the village will have. That will ensure that they have good quality water, good quality air, healthy organic food, and very good ambience. Some of the things that they would require on a daily basis can be done by foot, which means they can walk. These are pedestrian friendly roads, and a lot of convenience is planned. For example, if you want something, you can go quickly pick up and come. These things are there in a village, and overall the ambience in a village is of that of happiness. So when we started off discussing about the project, we said, okay, can we design something wherein you'll have a smart city, but that is done with an eco-village approach. So this is what Vijayanagara is about. Over the next 1 hour, I will try and explain to you some of the concepts that we have in detail. Please understand that we are trying to condense whatever we have and speak about it in 1 hour. We can talk about each of these points for hours together. So in the next slide, we'll talk about location and where the project is and how you can reach the project. So my colleague Teja would be helping us in that section.
Hi, thank you, Vamsi. Very good evening, gentlemen. And my name is Teja. So now I'm talking about the location here. So you can see a drop in down the screen. That is the exact location of the property. It is just adjacent to Jigni. This thing, Jigni. It is 10 minutes drive from Banerghatta National Park. Talking about Banerghatta National Park, it's a biological park which is spread in 25,000 acres of land, and it is Asia's largest national park. We are just 10 minutes drive from Banerghatta National Park. The advantage of this park being very next to that is we have a good groundwater sources, quality of air, um, low temperature because more oxygen and other things is available from the because of the Banerghatta National Park. And coming to the location again, we are equally distance from between two metros. One is from Bomsandra Metro and another is from Banerghatta Road Metro, which is currently operating till Gotigeri. Means currently launched very shortly in era 2. So same Bomsandra also. It is half kilometers from Jigni BTS depot. The property is just half kilometers from Jigni BTS depot. Okay, and it is surrounded with a lot of companies, schools, colleges, hospitals, and shopping things also. Coming to the companies, there are it is just 2.5 kilometers from HCL Special Economic Zone, and from Electronic City somewhere around 7 kilometers. It is exactly 16 to 17 kilometers from Silk Board. Silk Board. And talking about schools, there is number of schools. 25 schools are there in that. I can name few of them: Sarla Birla, Trimis, what not, School of India. Lot of schools are like that. And talking to the companies, we have HCL, Cipla, Biotech, Apotech. These are the companies. A few companies are there in that particular area. Colleges, we are just IIM second campus is close nearby, Alliance Academy, and few other yoga college or something. A lot of colleges are there in and around the campus. So about the location, and I mentioned few of the schools and colleges mentioned here. We'll share this presentation to you later once this is over. We'll share it to your email IDs. We have a lot of workplaces. We number few of them, named few of them here. Coming back to the amenities, we have a lot of amenities loaded in the amenity section. We have shops, mini shopping is there in the community, like talking about groceries, ATM, beauty care, courier, milk booth, everything is there. And exercise part, we have gym, swimming pool, all these things are tennis courts. And coming to the sports section also, we have box cricket, tennis court, basketball, walking, jogging paths, passive reactions. So many things are there here in this. we have separate food outlets, means that is well designed in the village square. I think my colleague Vamsi will talk about a lot on village square, how the food outlets and these things will be there in the village square. Village square is an extraordinary design, and it is no other project having this kind of amenity like village square. He'll explain it to you, and over to Vamsi. You can take care of remaining part.
Thank you, Teja. So, like he mentioned, we are very close to most of the location, most of things we have in Electron City. This is a blessing for people who are in Electron City, who are working there. Even without, if you're not working in Electron City, I think in the next few years we'll see most of us are working from home. As the culture improves, you would not actually have to travel to office anymore. So, if you take metro, everything in Bangalore is about 40 to 60 minutes away, depending on where you're staying, including Whitefield or Bellandur. All these places can be reached from metro in about 20-25 minutes. So from the property, metro is about 20 minutes, like you said. And we have some exciting things about the street design. We spend a lot of time into designing how the community will look like. So my colleague Indu will help us and explain us about how community public realm is.
Thanks, Vamshi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today. So far, I think we've got the outer information about the project, like the location, what is there in and around the project, and all that. Now, going forward into the project, starting by that, we looked at many approaches before starting our design, and what we noticed was nothing can get better than a village that most of us have already lived in our past times, or our grandparents or parents have lived in. So bringing that kind of a system or that kind of an approach in today's time zone, that was one of the approach that we went ahead. And how else to keep it current or more realistic is to design it more very like a smart and sustainable village. And that's how the name Vijayanagara Eco Village, that's how it stands for. If you look at some of these points that's been mentioned here: biophilic streets, social hub, active sports zone, food forest, commercial zone, village square. All of these are some of the big elements that we've used to create this whole village or the community. So biophilic street, let me just explain to you. So in general, what you would notice, streets or footpaths are just the 4 feet, the kadapa stone that's placed above some stormwater drains, and you really don't enjoy while you're walking on the footpath. You're always very careful about what is underneath. But here, instead of just creating a straight and simple footpath of that type, where you don't enjoy your walking or what you're doing there passing by, how about create zones which have a lot of trees, a lot of plants, and it not just gives you that shade to like walk about, but also gives you a feel of like you're walking in between nature. So that was the whole idea about biophilic street. And also keeping in mind human friendly or nature friendly streets is what we need currently, not vehicular. Because if you see a lot of people these days, they start riding two-wheelers onto the footpath. So how these kind of bollards, if you see in the presentation, how these kind of bollards have been put so that vehicles don't go into that, and it is more of human and nature friendly. But at the same time, the streets, the roads have been designed giving importance to vehicle, but where it is necessary to give importance to pedestrian, we have taken care of that. So if you look at this small step up kind of thing, a small step up, so that's basically to create a difference between the vehicular zone, the vehicle where the vehicle will be moving, versus the pedestrian. So this stretch, when someone is crossing through the road, they don't have to go up and down, or any of those hindrances are not there. Instead, they just have a flat level. So this not just helps a normal person to walk without fearing that they might tip and fall, but also for anyone on a wheelchair or someone who's got some walking stick or something, they don't have to worry, and they have a free surface to walk about. And at the same time, because of this level difference, the cars will be forced to stop. So what's happening, you're creating that kind of a environment where the person using the car is also keeping in mind, oh, okay, this is a level difference and he needs to slow down. And while a pedestrian person has a free, like carefree way to walk around and not worry about some vehicle coming by. So this is one thing. So this approach has helped us keep the nature and human in friendly design for the footpaths and the streets, and that is one bit. And coming to social hubs and other features there. The social hubs, the active zones, all of that is going to be in the project at different areas. Social hubs are going to be the streets, like what you can see right now, these benches and small gathering places that you see about. We have created some open and some covered. The covered is basically during afternoon if you want to walk by, or if there is some kind of a small talk that you want to have with your friend or something, you can stop by. And at the same time, we have these huge community garden in the project that you would see in the next few slides, where you can come distribute your food, your plants, veggies, whatever you've grown. You can come have a meet here and distribute around people. That actually has some other benefits in the project, where you will be given some points when you actually share. And the person, it's like trying to create a give and take kind of a process. So the person using it also gets points, and the person giving it also gets points, and that kind of encourages people to share and live together. So these kind of closed and sheltered hubs are for that kind of purpose. And even when you're walking by, you can just stop by if you want to take a break. And we have some public toilets that's being designed at certain intervals, where if you are walking in a 27-acre property, I'm sure you'll sometime want to just freshen up or something like that, or some emergency. So you have toilet and also water fountains, so you can like use it, and you don't have to worry carrying a water bottle all the time, or be worried that you cannot use a public, you cannot use your washroom or something like that. And if you look at these parks also, the kind of parks that's being designed, it's more of people friendly, and at the same time we've not just kept only people and nature, we've also considered human friendly. So they're like pet parks in the project. If you look at it, it's something that you won't find in a lot of places, but keeping animal friendly also helps a lot of interaction amongst people. And to all of these factors have helped us design different kind of spaces in the project. So this live outdoor spaces that you've seen, those benches, those big gatherings, small gathering, different kind of gathering spaces, these are about the live outdoor space. Next comes the village square. The village square is one of our best thing that we can all talk about, my entire team. um, so what happens, clubhouse is something overrated, because it's like very defined kind of spaces. You have a swimming pool, or you have certain xyz activities, and then some lawn space and something which we hardly use. So how about create a village square where different kind of activities can happen at the same time, and if you want to be part of it, you could be, or if you don't want to, you can be an active participant or a passive participant. So for instance, if there's a music concert going on, you don't want to be amidst that loud noise or the kind of music that they're playing, but you want to walk around. There is walking track and jogging track around, and then you can just sit a little far away and still be part of it and do certain other activities. So this is where the stage is. So in case someone is performing a dance or there's some music going on, people can go around this area and do their jogging, walking, and even sit here and still be part of the event. And at the same time, the active users can be around here and enjoy this. And you can also see certain lawn spaces around. It's not just fully hardscape. So if there is a yoga event happening in the morning, early morning here, and there could be some other laughing club for some adults or for younger generation people here, and there could be some small play area for toddlers going on, all this can happen. So what this brings about together is, if a family of where the grandparents, basically, if they're doing their laughing club or certain kind of activity here, their grandchildren are playing here, the parents are doing some yoga. It's like a family that can have their multiple activities and all can gather at the same time on a daily basis. But apart from that, on a weekends or something, there can be stalls put up here where people can come. They can bake and sell their products, or have their own artworks or anything like that. Those kind of activities can be put up, and people can come enjoy. So it's not just a dead space, but there is activity going on during the week, during the day, during the night, and also during the weekend. So that's how the name village square. So it kind of brings all the people around to this place, and each one can do what they want, because there is some kind of activity, or there is some kind of space for every person being in this place, the village square. So
Hello.
Vamshi, next slide.
Indu, we can't hear you.
Now?
Yeah.
Now is it fine?
Yes. Continue. Okay, we lost you again.
Hello?
Okay, your voice is breaking off.
Okay. Now?
Now it's better. Please continue. Hello? All right, looks like Indu's connection is not clear.
Hello?
Yes, Indu, now we can hear you. Continue, please.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah. So I think coming back to the sustainability, I'm really sorry guys. Sorry for like losing you out in between. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so talking about food sustainability, I think a lot of people must have had this experience during this situation of lockdown where you were worried about the kind of food that is available and how safe and everything it is. Imagine right now, we had this kind of a micro community where you could grow all your food within the community, share it, and use it around with on a daily basis. Are we there, Vamshi?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So imagine you have a big community garden where all your normal groceries, all your veggies, your greens, all of that can be grown on a regular basis, and you don't have to really worry because there are a lot of people who will be involved in maintaining it. It's not like your own private mm, property or something. It's a community where all your veggies can be grown about, and so large scale, 60 to 80% of your food that you need on a daily basis can be obtained from here itself. You don't have to like really think of where will I get my produce, how healthy will it be and stuff. So this we've also done at a micro level in every house. Every house has a micro level terrace garden where we're actually looking at producing greens within your terrace, but that is only for at a smaller scale, not at a larger scale. This is on a larger scale where big, imagine there's a guava tree or a jackfruit tree, all that kind of things are there. That can happen at this level. Yeah. Next slide.
All right. Thank you, Indu. So what we are trying to create is a food forest and a community where we can grow most of the things that we require. That is about 60 to 70% of our entire vegetable and fruit requirement can be grown inside the community. And I think we'll have access to even supply to communities outside. So this is what we are planning as a part of the food forest and some of the terrace gardens. We'll come back and explain to you more about the food forest and how we are handling that. So let us go to the next section where we talk about water management. Most of us see that in Bangalore we don't have enough water now. Any area you talk about, people will say, "Do you have water?" And then people start saying that yes, we have water, and all they'll say we have a problem with the pool wells. There is no groundwater. Things like that keep happening. Now to change that scenario, what we said is, can we have a comprehensive water management system where the entire water in the property, in the community is managed such a way that Vijayanagara will become a water positive and a sustainable community. So I'll just explain to you in brief what we are trying to do. We are obsessed with water. We probably over design than what is required, but that is in future we'll have a lot of problems related to water. Most of the reports that you would know, you would have read in papers would say that Bangalore will run out of water by this year. So what are we designing? So for a project like this, which is 27 acres of land, we will require about 2 to 5 lakh liters of storage capacity, both in terms of sumps as well as in terms of overhead tanks. That is usually what people plan. But we are planning about 20 to 40 times more storage than what a normal project of this size will have. So let me explain. If you have one tank, we're talking about 20 to 40 times bigger size tanks for storage of water. This means that we'll collect everything that comes from rainwater or borewell So whatever source comes in, we have capacity to store. If you don't have the capacity to store, though there is enough water, you don't have option to do that. We do this with a series of network of thousands of meters of bioswales and hundreds of rain gardens. Let me explain to you what that is. So this is what is a picture of a bioswale, what you're seeing here at the left side bottom of your screen. A bioswale will be something like this on the top, but when you go to the bottom, you'll have biofilters made of gravel, sandstone, geotextiles, and then the water gets filtered, so most of the pollutants are stopped at this level. Then it is sent to through the pipes to a storage system where again it is purified and stored. What it means is whenever there is rain in Bangalore, you would have seen this, right? Most of the cases where we on the roads we'll have a lot of rainwater stagnating on the road, and for 2-3 days we'll just be breeding mosquitoes and polluting the streets. So in our case, we have designed streets in such a way that they are slightly slant. They collect water, and we have these openings in several of these footpaths and these spaces here that allows water to go into the bioswales and rain gardens, and we collect. Whatever we cannot store, the excess water that we have, we are putting that in. We are using that to send it to deep recharge pits, which means that we'll send the water into ground. It will recharge the groundwater. Now, what this means is that we have enough and more capacity to store about 1 crore liters of water. Like I said, 5 lakh liters is what usually people do. 2 to 5 lakh liters is what people do. We have about 1 crore liters of master storage capacity. We also have water treatment plants that purify water at the entry as well as when it is getting supplied to you. This will ensure that we have sustainable and purified water supply. Now, to summarize, we have enough water to survive a couple of droughts. If there is no rain at all or no borewells, we can survive for a couple of years. In times of lockdowns like this, we can survive for a couple of lockdowns, meaning about 6 to 7 months we can survive once we have the tanks full. Bangalore usually has 80 to 90 days of rain on the worst case scenario, about 120 days on a good year. So we can survive based on the storage capacity. In case if it goes to extreme and if it really prolongs a longer time, we have facilities to use recycled and upcycled water, which means the water that comes from your bathrooms and gardens or kitchen can be converted and purified into drinking water capacity. So with all these things in place, I think in case if there's a drought, let's say there is no rain for a couple of years, Vijayanagara Eco Village will be the last place probably to run out of water, and because we are prepared for that. Now you can see the footpaths are designed in such a way. I just want to add one point in terms of street design. So footpaths are about 8 feet wide, so 3-4 people can walk together at one time on the footpath. That is how wide the footpaths are, and it is under shade. So next we come to the place where we talk about green cover. So if you are following me till now, please raise a hand so I know that we are not running very fast and you guys are following what we are saying. So the next section we are going to talk about is a biophilic community. How do we design a biophilic community? People who have been in Bangalore for more than 10-15 years will remember that Bangalore was a really green city. It was called a garden city. We had a lot of trees all around us. A lot of birds were there. And climate was actually cooler. But we don't have that anymore. We don't have a facility where we have a lot of trees. Some estimates say that we have only 3% of green cover left. That means that if there were 100 trees in 1990s, we only have 3 trees now. No wonder the climate is becoming really hot. If you see air pollution and all that, it is really increasing. So how do we manage this? So we said, can we design a community that will be a completely biophilic community and that will have a lot of green cover? That is how this community is planned. So if you can see these pictures here, we have incorporated trees and gardens and flowering plants all around. So whenever we are going through the community, we'll have trees whenever we are walking out. So let me show you some actual pictures shot at site. This picture was shot in October last year. This was still when it was still raining. So these are actually trees that are there even today. So these trees, some of them are about 25 to 30 years old. They're planted long back, and they're about 30 to 40 feet high. Some are 20 feet high, but they provide a beautiful canopy to the community. On the ground, whatever grass you're seeing may not be there when you visit, let's say in May or June, but the trees are still green and it's beautiful. So this also means that around the streets, already trees are growing like this. That will help us to create a beautiful designs. Now, here is where the bioswales are coming. I'll try and draw the arrow. On your left side, you'll see that these pits are already dug. So we just have to get the bioswales and rain gardens done there. That will help you for collecting water. And the terrain also the community is such a way that it slopes to one direction. So we can actually use the natural slope to collect water and keep it. Now, what we are adding to improve whatever is already there is that we are adding a lot of fruit trees. We don't have fruit trees here. We have salwood, mahogany, teak wood, neem trees. Uh, these are the trees that we already have. So we are adding a lot of fruit bearing trees, so that will invite. It will be really good to look at. You can actually cut fruit from the trees and eat. That will remind you of a village. That's what we said. It's an eco village. We believe adding park benches under these and footpaths under these trees will actually give you a beautiful locale for you to step out. Now, all the compound around the property is also designed to have green compound wall, which means that you'll have plants on the compound wall that will that will help you to absorb dust and also prevent noise pollution from coming in. There are already a lot of birds in this community. Though we do a lot of construction, still we'll have a lot of places where more than 50% of the entire community is green. So with terrace gardens, with the food forest, with green compound wall, with trees like this already, we believe it will become a completely like a mini forest. There are some mini forests in Bangalore even now, so people actually spend some time there. Whenever we go to Jayanagar, we spend a lot of time in the mini forest. So this is a place like that. Again, these are not small trees. Someone who is about 6 feet tall took this picture, and this is as tall. You can see that they're thick and they're very plush green. So this is an aerial shot taken. I have a video. I'll show you that in some time. So this is an aerial shot taken at this site. You will see a lot of these streets. So these are the streets, and all the streets have this green cover. I'll try and draw a couple of streets just to draw your attention to that. So these are the streets in the community. All the streets have these trees around them. So we don't have trees that are blocking the living areas. That means that you will not have a problem when we are building it. We don't have to cut any of these trees. Actually, in fact, we're adding, like I said, a lot more to make the community greener. Now, you can see on your left side, you'll be able to see the green, the lake on the left side. On the top left corner, I have more videos to show you. We are blessed to have the lake next to us, and that adds to the community. Now, there are food forests and other flowering plants and decorative ones we are adding into this. We believe the place is already cooler. When we go now, you'll actually feel it is cooler. But it will be even more cooler when we have a lot of gardens and these plants. So let me go to the next section. I'll show you a couple of pictures of the lake. So this is what the Bukkasagara Lake is. It's one of the last clean lakes that is left in the community in Bangalore. Vijayanagara is right next to it. You can actually share the gate with that. You can go, there's a private entrance from the lake now. You can open this gate and go. So this is where the gate is, and these are the walking tracks in the around the lake. We have about 1 kilometer walking tracks around the lake. So this will help you to actually enjoy the lake in a different way from what our people are saying outside. You don't actually see the lake, but you actually can go into the lake. So this is again an aerial shot. It has a 1 kilometer jogging track all around. I have a video which I would like to play and show you now. It also gives you a beautiful space around the water. We believe being next to the nature will help you get fit and also give mental peace. Most of the communities do not have a space like that. So we are blessed to have something like this, and this is a beautiful place with where you can just sit down, relax, and have your own time and do that. So before I go to the next section, I would like to play a video to show you about how the community looks. Kindly hold on for a minute when I go take to the video and show you. All right, so this is the video. If you're able to see the video, let me play that. So this is from the central point in the community. So this is one of the parks that is coming here. We have two parks, like my colleague Indu mentioned. We have an active sports zone where we have sports like basketball, football, cricket, box cricket, jogging, yoga, and all those things planned. We also have another place where Village Square is coming, right? So this is the place where Village Square is coming, the place on your right side that you're seeing. So this is a really green community that's already there. We just have to enhance it by adding few fruit trees and other parks and gardens and put some benches around. So you would feel that you're in a village already when you go here. In fact, you'll feel that you're in a resort. So the lake on your left side top, you'll be able to see. So there is this is one of the biggest advantages we have in a community like this. Some of you are asking that is the lake water available? Yes, this is a recent picture that we shot in October, but last time we were in February, just before lockdown or in March. Also, it was full of water and not dirty water. This is a good water, clean water lake. So you can see that there are houses all around the community. Already there are people living here. It's not very far from Jigni circle, like my colleague Teja mentioned. It's about 5 minutes from Jigni. If you're coming in a two-wheeler, it's probably lesser than that. All right, let me see if I can play the lake video also, so you'll be able to see how. Can you give me a second? I hope this loads as fast as the other one. All right, so this is how the lake is, and these are two big roads. So on the right side corner, what you're seeing is the one that takes you to the entrance of the community. The one on the left side, on the top here, is the community involved. So this is a really clean lake. In fact, there are some people, when we went there couple of times, there are people who are also doing some fishing and other activities. So this is how the community is. So let's go back to our presentation, and we'll continue with the next section. So now that we discussed several features, for example, I'll just list out them. We spoke about having a lot of trees in the community. We spoke about having a comprehensive water management system. We also spoke about having interesting community designs in terms of village square, in terms of having biophilic streets, footpaths, gardens, and all these things are already there. And we are also blessed with having a beautiful lake, Bukkasagara Lake, and these hundreds of these trees are already there. Now, how can we add in such a way that if we can use your contribution? For example, if you are staying in the community, how can we use your skills and encourage you to share your knowledge, also learn something from other people in the community? So that is what this section is about. Community living actually works when people come together and do some things, right? So we added a section called learning and co-creation. We added several of these small features. For example, we have an art studio where you can just go learn guitar, learn music, or learn singing, or learn pottery, or even simple things like sewing or cooking. You can learn that. Or if you have a beautiful skill, you can actually teach other people in that. People can sign up for classes. We have integrated daycare for children and aged people at one place, so that people can actually come together and spend time. Normally what happens is parents who are retired and are at home are usually waiting or sitting around watching TV or reading a book. Sometimes they really get bored. So we have these places where daycare children can be clubbed with aged people, and so they can spend time together in the caring place. We have several people who housekeeping facilities where they want to have a cup of coffee, or they want to be reminded about medicines, things like that can be taken care. The entire project Vijayanagara is equipped with high-speed communication, including the streets, gardens, parks. All these places have high-speed communication, Wi-Fi enabled spaces. So that allows you to collaborate and work whenever you want. We also have traditional board games and other things built into these social hubs that Indu was talking about. We have seen some beautiful pictures, right? And we have community kitchen, community gardens, where there will be somebody or the other cooking food. So if you remember stories about Google's corporate office or Microsoft corporate office, when you think about it, they'll say, okay, they have really good food, good canteens like that, right? So we try to bring a village canteen kind of situation here, where people can actually come, volunteer in the kitchen, cook, and have good food under the trees. So this is one of the possible situations in the community at Vijayanagara. So further to add, this is another side of the picture for the village square. We have both active and passive recreation here. This place is also encouraging art, music, celebration, chess. We also have some facilities for counseling. When you have a lot of elders and people with experience in the community, you can actually talk to each other, talk to children, spend time playing sports, understanding what is nutrition. So all these things are planned in such a way. You also have space for watching a movie. There's a home theater space here. We have a co-working space where we believe 80 to 90% of the entire workforce in the next 2-3 years will shift to working from home. So you need a space other than your house where you can actually concentrate and work, as well as not disturbing people at home. So we have co-working spaces built into this, so you can actually go there and spend time with power backup and all those things, and you can actually work there. So with these facilities in mind, I don't think you will be actually traveling to office 5 days in a week. You'll probably go once or twice in a week, or maybe 4-5 times in a month. So we have used technology to perfection to provide smart meters, to check water, to check power usage, gas usage. You also can check humidity, what's the temperature, what's the air quality in the community. We added all these elements with trees, gardens, water elements, places to sit down, places to just relax or go for a walk, pick up something like water fountains. All these things are added to make the community complete. So these are the facilities that make the community really interesting. Now, the next section is about floor plans. We're almost at the end of our session. So let my colleague Indu help us with explaining about this. Most of you are asking to turn on our cameras. If you space can turn on will be really helpful. So my colleague Indi will explain to you about what we have for you when we approach the living spaces. Over to Indu.
Hi everyone. Thanks for joining again. So the thing about like what you've heard all this while is again about the community, the location, and all what all we can find in and around the surroundings. But now coming back to the units where people could be residing, or what are the potentials that you have if you are going to stay there. So in terms of our design, we have kept in mind that as much as the community living, as much as the green and everything is considered out, the same goes forward in the house. So there are few things that we have not compromised on in terms of the light, natural light, ventilation, then a lot of garden spaces within the house and around the house, and those kind of features are something that we've looked into our floor plan designs that we've taken into consideration. Stack ventilation is something that we've also thought about by creating some double height spaces in the house so that there is always good ventilation in the house, and also it's not like a dead space but some courts so that you can sit and enjoy some green space and also be a little more engaged in it. And Vamshi, yeah. So if also another thing we've done is we've considered bay window as one of a feature that we can incorporate in all the bedrooms, where you not just sit in like the window doesn't just become for some ventilation or for some view and to hang some beautiful curtains, but also to sit by the window and enjoy what you can do more, like read a book, or if someone is sitting in the bedroom, you can talk to them by sitting by the bay window, and you can do your work. You can use your laptop and do your work over there and enjoy some nice plants that are like colorful like these, or even that have good fragrance that can be placed over there. And these are all smaller miniature gardens if you want to look at it as not as a big planting space. So usually we don't get these kind in a apartment or in a villa, because the ground space is what's used for plantation, and otherwise we don't have anything. And apart from this, we've also considered a good amount of materials in terms of best pressurized showers, or all those kind of fixtures that we would want to consider. We are trying to keep that also in point, so that when you're using your water, basic thing like a shower head. So if you have a good pressurized shower head, you are not consuming or wasting too much of water, and instead you have a good shower, as well as you're being conscious by not wasting water. And yeah, these are some of the things. So if we like, also another major thing that a lot of people prefer and ask is vastu compliant. Are the houses vastu compliant? Definitely yes, because we are keeping in mind the natural light and ventilation, that almost helps us design a 100% vastu compliant house and bring about other features that we are very strongly connected to, which is nature and green, more of green, sustainable houses. So going to the floor plans, what we have is, Uchi, can I have the floor plan? Okay, like before the floor plan, I'll just talk about the terrace garden. So initially, I think we spoke to you about the community garden, which is at a large scale that will be happening all over the property at different areas. We have these food forests we have distributed at different locations. So that is at a large scale where you can grow huge quantity of food, like about 60 to 80% of the entire community. But what about your terrace? How can you utilize your terrace by not just leaving it as a dead space or anything like that? Instead, how if you can grow your own normal vegetables that you need in your terrace space, and at the same time, how can you just not keep it as a growing space but also be part of it, like how we designed the biophilic streets. So imagine like a biophilic terrace, like you sit and do your work. If you want to have your breakfast, you can have there. You want to dry your clothes, you have a dryer section where you can have a cloth liner to dry. And apart from that, if you want to grow your normal herbs and everything that you want to do on a, which is very particular to you, you can grow it over there. You can do your work as well. Work from home is something that's kicking big time. So if you at times want some private space, you can work from here. You can do your paintings. And there are a lot of traditional cooking style which requires sun drying, where you dry your chilies, where you dry your papads and everything that you make at home. So those can be dried up on your terrace. And all this can happen along with certain like night activities, stargazing, or you want to have a small birthday party or a film screening within your own terrace. You can do all these kind of things. So this is something that we are not extending the outdoor spaces as just outdoor, but within your family, you can have a small micro community in your terrace itself, where greens, your daily chores, your work can happen there. So a couple of activities. So this is at the terrace. So at the terrace level, so you don't waste the terrace as a desk space. And um,
Hindu, we can't hear you. Okay, looks like we lost connection with Hindu again. So while we get Hindu back on the call, I will share a small poll with you. If you guys can do that, let us know what do you feel about the property. Hindu, are you back?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry for this bad network today. Bad timing.
We're in the floor plan.
Yeah. Going about the floor plan. So if someone who knows about Vastu will more or less know, for an east facing northeast is a pleasant entry that is considered. That's because most of the time early morning sun rays falling into your house is one of the best thing that you can have. So that's why the northeast entry, and that's how we've taken into consideration with a small sit out area in the north, right before the entrance. So you have your it's not like you, as soon as you enter your property, you have your main door. So you have some breathing space of some greens, and then you have a hard surface, and then you enter your house. And even when you enter, it's not like the spaces are very tight bound with all walls. It's like the living, the dining, the kitchen, as much as they have their own private zones, but yet it's kept open in terms of its design. So this actually helps in light and ventilation throughout the common areas, and or you can call this as the public spaces for the public space of the house. Whereas you can see one ground floor bedroom, considering either a senior person or someone who wants to stay in the ground floor can stay in that. In that itself, you can see it has got a window where you have a bay window. So the bay window is somewhere you can just sit by and watch outside. You can sit and read your book, or you can do your work. Kids are there, they can do their homework sitting there. Small kids can fall asleep there. That's something very close to nature and stuff. So this is one of the key features that we have used in the entire unit design. Apart from this, you can see a courtyard. That's a double height space where it's like hard surface down, but at the periphery end of it, we have a live green wall. So you might not be able to grow a real tree in the house, maybe, but you can have a live wall, which will still give you a feel of like there is green within the house. And it's because we have good light and ventilation, and since it's a double height, we have a skylight on top. There is no issues about the plant growing on that live wall, and this same live wall continues even in the second floor, and that I will explain to you further again. So if you look at the sizes of the rooms also, like the kitchen is about 11 by 10, then the living room is about 17 to 18 feet long in terms of length. So all these spaces are not something very small, it's quite big. Even the utility, if you consider, it's a 10 feet by 6 feet big utility, where you can have your washing machine, you can have your other dryer and all of those in that space. And even the green surface, if you see in the setback area, we have given as much as possible in terms of the setbacks. You can grow guava, pomegranate, banana plants, all of that. And considering you have one area where you can grow more plants and one area can have lawn kind of things. So if you want to just walk on a lawn barefoot, so you feel a little more pleasant and good for your feet. So if you look at the overall, if you look at it, the house doesn't feel like it's like boxes, but it's more like a flow of spaces that's around. Even the staircase is not like a covered space, it's like an open staircase under which we've tucked in a powder room for the guests. So if anyone comes, they're not disturbed into your private space and they use the powder room out there. And the car park also, considering a very good big standard car park size, we have kept in mind and done that. Even the window placing and everything, we have tried to harness as much as possible the north, east, and west, because the wind in Bangalore is through east and west, more or less. So we have kept that in mind and try to use that. In the kitchen, if you see, there is something where we have also kept a small bay window that is to grow your herbs. So there are small things like pudina or lemongrass or one of those which you might be using in making your tea or using it for your food. So something that you use on a daily basis can even be a small tulsi plant if you're okay to put it inside the house. So something like that you quickly use into your cooking zone. So that can happen there. So the bay window is not just considered as a seating or a pleasure thing, but also more useful in a zone where it is of that kind, in a kitchen. So this is about the ground floor. So as you reach the upper floor, you'll see it's morely the private zones. It's like the bedrooms. But at the same time, not to just make it again look like boxes, we have a nice family space. The family space is something where from which all the rooms get their entries. But at the same time, if someone wants to take a phone call, or you want to do some common board games, or you want to have some kind of activity, small activity for a small group of people, this is something that you can look at. At the same time, you can also see, if you remember, the court is a double height space which opens up in the first floor, and the live wall again continues in the first floor. So you don't feel like you're in a concrete space. Because of the green, you feel like you're still part of some floor or some outdoor space. There is some outdoor coming into the indoor, that kind of a space in the common area. And again, above this is a skylight, so you have ample amount of light and ventilation coming inside. So in terms of the bedrooms, if you see, we've made sure all the spaces have its own definite location. Like the bed has its only bed space. It's not mixed up with the wardrobes, or it's not mixed up with any other thing. So if you look at the master bedroom, it's very spacious. It's almost about 14 feet. So if you look at the whole zoning, there's nothing else in the bedroom to disturb you to have a peaceful sleep when you consider it. And the bay window here again, which is in the southwest, which has those small tiny little windows which will let the sunlight come into for the plants, and then you can sit by and enjoy while you're in, like, reading a book, or you're talking to someone in the master bedroom, or you want to just take a power nap. You can sit there and relax and enjoy the time. And if you look at the walk-in wardrobe, or the walk-in wardrobe is like a separate space there, and the toilet is a separate space. You enter the walk-in wardrobe, you enter the toilet through the walk-in wardrobe. The shower area has been like considered, like if someone wants to have a bathtub or something, that can be put in, and at the same time some extra space to bring in another set of greenery inside your bathroom. So people must be wondering why green inside. So it actually helps you have a very calm and relaxed bathing time when you're there, and it's not like some duty that you have to just finish and go away. And also these plants help absorb the moisture or the humidity that comes out of the bathroom, the bathing experience. So this in turn helps the plant also grow. So you can use some kind of plants for that. And also there's a small seating area. So sometimes you might just want to use the bathroom, use for some other activity. So you can sit by there and enjoy and do your bathing experience. And it's quite spacious, where even in case someone is in a wheelchair or any of those access, that is taken care, all of that. So the entire master bedroom has got its own luxury there. Likewise, if you see the other two bedrooms also, the bay window is again there, so that someone sitting in the house can also have an outdoor feel and not be stuck in a bedroom kind of a feel. And they have their own specific walk-in wardrobe spaces again. And the bathrooms again have a small plant section where you can have some pebbles with some silica-based plants or something that can grow, which will absorb moisture and also make you feel nice when you're in the bathroom, and not like a dead dark zone. And one bathroom on the first floor has been kept as a common one, so that even if anyone else coming in, friends or something, can use that. So this is about the thing. So all the bedrooms again have the green, which does not make you feel like you're in a box, and you're also part of outdoor. And at the same time, the family room does not make you feel like as soon as you come up from the ground floor to the first floor, you're not into some locked stone. So the double height space and the live wall and the family space gives you a very kind of a breathing feel into the house itself. There's a lot of lighting and ventilation, spacious rooms and bathrooms and everything. So this is the floor that we've considered. And once you go up to the terrace, as we already explained, you have the terrace garden there, where you can have your own micro garden happening terrace, where you can grow your own veggies and have the extended micro garden there. And if you guys have any doubts or any feedbacks or any suggestions, please do share it in the chat section. I will take it from Vamshi and the team. And I'm sorry for the disturbance with the internet. Vamshi, you can take it forward.
All right, thank you, Indu. So we can discuss about the floor plans in more detail with you. If you have a customer who is looking at designing customized options, we are more than happy to do. Some of you are asking questions about the security, about legal, and about the number of units. I'll discuss this right here. So we have about 350 units in this community as of now. This includes all the other sizes, including 30-40, 40-60, as well as some designer options which are slightly larger in space. So we have all those options available. Now let me explain to you the plan once again as to how we reach here and all that. So we already know that the property is coming from Jigni. You have to come here. So this is the main entrance. At the bottom of your screen, you'll be able to see a small red circle. That's where the main entrance is. So as you enter the community, you have Park 1. You have a small commercial zone here. So this is the commercial zone. This will have your grocery, your pharmacy, your food outlets, and the security and place things like that here. This commercial zone is also the place where we believe when you enter the community, you'll be able to pick something up and go into the community when you are coming here. So it also makes it easy for the workers and all that who are coming from outside. Our staff of the commercial zone can be managed by the security. So once you come inside, on your left hand side, you will see Park 1. Now Park 1 is an active zone. This is close to 1.5 acres of land. It also has food forest. All the trees that you're seeing around it are food forest. A lot more trees than what you're seeing in these layout are there existing right now, and we'll add many more. So this also has your jogging track, yoga spaces, also active sports zones like cricket, basketball. All these things are here. So this also opens up to the gate. The gate is here for the lake. So this is Bucksagar Lake. This is really big, and this actual picture that we've taken around it is from Google Maps. This is to scale. Then we have inside the community, Village Square is Park number 2, the one I am drawing right now on the top of your screen. Let me draw it again. So this is the Village Square option. So in the Village Square, we have multi-activity zone. We have passive as well as active sports and active community activities here. For example, this is the place where we're celebrating Holi or Dandiya or Christmas or New Year. This is the place where people will come in and spend time, because the place is designed to accommodate a lot of people together. So 1 acre of land. It is also designed with a lot of seating spaces. There are spaces where you can put up your stalls, pandals that can be decorated based on the situation. And this has a beautiful walking track around it and covered with trees so that the other houses around it will not be disturbed. So let me draw where 40-60s are. Here are where 30-40 plants are, and this is where 30-40s are. The pink ones are where we have the 40-60s. Lot of 40-60s are available. So these are bigger house and bigger villas. So the floor plan that Indu explained just now is a 40-60 villa. So the smaller ones also can be done as villas. We have bigger sized options. So some of them are here, for example, and some of them are here. These are really big ones, which can be like the 3,000, 4,000 square feet ones, which can be converted into really big houses. Now, there are also spaces for civic amenities. So this is where civic amenities is coming. We do not have one place restricted. Let's say this is the clubhouse. We have clubhouse all around the community. So this is the place where we have a small community area coming up, in which we have clubhouse, gym, and other things coming here. As you can see from the picture, all the streets are neatly done. They're perpendicular to each other. It's not like they're going haphazard. So vehicular movement and distance will be very clean. And like as I said, we have added a lot of social hubs. I'll try and draw a couple of social hubs. So we'll be able to see where these are coming. So we have a social hub here. We have social hub here. We have it here, here. Many places social hubs are. All these places are also accessible by footpaths, which means that you can actually walk to all these places. You don't have to worry about going around in a vehicle. If you're coming to the zone, commercial zone, you can take a vehicle and come. That is not the idea. We wanted to walk and come so that you can complete your walk as well as walk around the community and talk to your friends. So this is how the community is designed. Now straight away, let's go to the offering which we have for your clients. So these are the two options that we have. So before we go to the offerings, let me talk about summarize everything. Okay. I have some questions coming about car parking. We have options for 1 car park and 2 car parks inside the house. Let me go there. So this is the project highlights. The property is 27 acres of land. It is legally cleared by the top lawyers in Bangalore, including some of these people are on panelist to SBI and banks like that. We are covered by RERA. So the property is registered with RERA. We're expecting certificate in about 2-3 days time. Because of lockdown, the RERA certification could not happen. Offices were closed. One of the most interesting things we have in the community is this is protected by title insurance. When we say title insurance, what we mean is that in case of any legal issues that we have, or the property being sold to 2-3 people, correct ownership is not known, there are things like that, right? So we are taking a property insurance for 12 years. So all the rights for the property is clean. So even when you move into the community and for a decade and probably till 12 more years, that is 2032, in case of any legal problems, you are protected by title insurance. I don't think anyone in Bangalore is doing this for residential property. Very rarely people do it for commercial. So this is one of the things that ensures that your investment or your friends or your client's investment is safe. You don't have to worry about legal at all. Now it is also approved by all the top banks, including SBI, ICICI, and HDFC. You can actually get your loans from them. Now to summarize, we have hundreds of tall and medium trees that you saw in the pictures. We have hundreds of fruit trees that we are adding. There are tens of gardens that provide visual comfort, reduce air pollution, and also sound pollution. We are next to the lake. We already discussed that. All the streets are designed to be accessible by pedestrian friendly, which means that wheelchairs, prams. We also have some rickshaws in the community. I think it will be fun to take your friends out on a rickshaw and go and grab something to eat. We have a lot of places which are Wi-Fi enabled charging points, discussion boards like a corporate offices. We have places where you can learn gardening. Traditional games are provided in the social hub. So all these things make it a really comfortable community. So when we come to the houses, most of the points Indu covered. These are Vastu complaint, 100% Vastu complaint homes. So don't have to worry about resale or things like that. They're really spacious homes. We get about 4,000 square feet of built up area and about 3,800 square feet of usable area in a 40-60 plot. That's what our designs are. So we are trying to redefine luxury living in terms of home. Once you open the door, you have everything that you have inside the house. The specifications are one of the best in the industry. So if you pick up brands like Shobha, Prestige, or Total Environment, so you pick up the best ones in Bangalore, we are on par with them. We are trying to provide whatever is the best that is required for the house. So we are not compromising on any of these things. We'll share more details with you in New Delhi. And if you have any clients who have doubts, we are more than happy to talk to them. So when we come to the water, we are, like I said, we are over designing for water because we think water will be an important commodity. We can actually say that we will never run out of water, but we have enough capacity to survive a couple of lockdowns or droughts. We can survive. It also has smart meters and technology to tell you the quality of water, and we are providing potable water to the homes. So these are already there in the community. So what we're adding is we're adding an on-site ambulance. We have a neighborhood clinic for case of emergencies. You can reach out to that. We have neighborhood counseling and special interest groups. For example, we have someone who is interested in cycling. If you're interested in running or learning pottery, cooking, gardening, etc., all these groups and activities can be planned. We have enough spaces to accommodate all of you coming out and spending time there. And along with that, to ensure better health, we are providing better quality water, food, and air. And the infrastructure development, whatever we told, other than the homes, whatever we mentioned till now will be completed by February 2021. We were actually supposed to complete much earlier, but due to the labor issues, we do not know when the lockdown will open. Personally, I am hoping that we'll be able to start work around June ending. So if that happens, we'll be able to finish much earlier. So even if we are looking at October or September time, we need about 4 to 6 months for completion after the rains. So that is about February 2021, we'll be able to complete all the infrastructure and then hand over the project to your customers. So when it comes to living spaces, we can actually give you the the villas can be completed by mid of 2022. So these are the two offerings. We have the last 5 minutes. Please bear with me as I explain to the sizes. So this is how a individual house, a single family home will look like. So a single family home, there are two options again. The smallest one is about 1,200 square feet. And this is about 2,100 square feet of built up area, has a 4 BHK, one on the ground floor, and 2 or 3 bedrooms on the top floor. And we have a space that is customizable on the terrace, which means if you want a home theater or a home office, we can design that in the smallest house as well. So this is an excellent opportunity for people who are not happy with the floor plans they are seeing. If you want something that can be designed according to what you want, we can design that. So the other one is a 4 BHK, that's a bigger one, 4,000 square feet of area built up in a 40-60 space. That option also is available. We have about 150 to 175 houses possible in the community. So we have bigger custom built villas possible. The land area is 3,000 square feet, 4,000, 4,800 square feet. We have very few of these. And these can be designed as per you, which means our architect will sit with our team will sit with your customer, help them design whatever they want. And once the design is frozen, we'll get necessary approvals and start construction handover to them. So that is possible. So we'll go to the next section. Civic amenities, some people are asking questions. I showed the civic amenities, we have spaces for that as well. Some of the road widths are about 40 feet, 50 feet and 60 feet roads we have. We also have some 30 feet roads, but they are going towards the food forest and places like that. This falls into BMRDA approval. The total area is 27 acres of land. All right, so the second opportunity is in case if some people are looking for constructing their own house, but not right now, they want to do it slightly later, we have that option as well. You can block your plot for a single family home. We have options again, 1,200 square feet, 2,400 square feet, as well as the bigger ones. Now, these are very few in number. We encourage people, you to tell your customers that, hey, if you are looking for the best villa possible in Bangalore, come and look at this. Now, from our side, what we are saying is specifications, we are not compromising. Spaces, we are not compromising. Vastu, we are not compromising. And this is really budget-friendly home. So I don't think we will get anything of that sort in about 15-kilometer radius here. My team has researched to compare all the specifications, amenities, and all that. We'll be glad to discuss this with you or your customers. Because of lack of time and we wanted to keep this perhaps webinar really short, so we did not add that. We will be more than happy to share that with you. So in terms of service, we provide end-to-end service. We don't have to talk to anyone else. If you and your customers can talk directly to us, we will help you in everything. We will explain to your customers what facilities are in detail. We are available in Zoom anytime you want during the lockdown period. If your customers want to know what is the features and what is the costing and how to take it forward, we are more than happy to help. Now we are looking at January, Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week. We'll have an option for you to talk to your customers. So we'll be more than happy to explain to them in detail about what we are doing in the project. And so we have one-to-one sessions possible. So the smaller villa, the 1,200 square feet one that we spoke about with 2,100 square feet of built-up area will cost you about 1.1 to 1.3 crores. The other part, the other villa, that the bigger one will cost about 2.2 crores in total, other than the registration and other points. All right, so we go further. So now we have come to the end of the session. I would request you to kindly take a poll that is coming on your screens right now. So this poll has few questions that we think you would be happy to answer. We believe that location is not a factor anymore. We believe that you don't have to go to the location at all. Most of you will be working from home. You will not be working from office anymore. Very rarely you'll go to office. So it doesn't matter where you are. So if you have sustainable food, sustainable water, good quality of life, and a lot of biophilic design greenery around, you will be really happy because the family can enjoy that. Kindly take the poll. We would like to know what you have in mind. Now, at this point, we're open for questions. Once you finish the poll, we're open for questions. We'll do the poll for about 45 seconds more. And then we have all the panel available for you to discuss your questions with us. So the second question in the form is about which of these are important to you. If you think these are important: water quality, air quality, sustainable water source, quality of food, access to daily needs that you can walk and go. That is the second question. The third question is, do you think having an option to survive in potential lockdowns or public lockdowns like this is important or not? Then we believe that when you provide fulfillment and happiness, we believe you'll sleep better, you'll have better relationships, you'll have a lot of fun, fitness, and recreation possible. You'll also have an option to talk to people around you. We also have believe that street life is very important. Most of us enjoy a 5-star meal, as well as we also enjoy going to a street and having dosas or pani puri, things like that. So we believe once Corona is over, we believe that opportunity like that we can provide very good communities. We also have a lot of spaces we added for parks, plazas. We have a lot of environmental conscious designs that will help you design, use community public spaces in an interesting way. We believe spending some time in gardens and will actually teach your children to respect food. You will also enjoy the life that is there. So you will We believe having facilities like that is there. So kindly take some 30 seconds more, ask and finish the form. If you have any questions, kindly share that with us. We'll be more than happy to answer you. We're here for 10 more minutes more, so all my colleagues are here. I request them to switch on their cameras now. Indu and Teja, if you can switch on your cameras, so our people, attendees would like to talk to you and ask some questions, they'll be happy to answer. Some of you are asking for the costing. I will share the costing sheet with you in some time. We have your email IDs. If you did not give us your email ID, kindly share your email IDs. We will share the pricing sheets, and also we'll share you beautiful pictures. You can see the footpath on your screen now. This is how the community footpath is next to the parks and gardens, and we believe this is one of the most interesting things. If you have been to Singapore or places like that, if you have been to places in Dubai, though it is really hot outside and there are a lot of vehicles, these spaces are used in a beautiful way because of the designs and how they are adapted. So we have designed this like this. So from our side, the promise is this: the property is legally clear. The property has all the titles that are required. It is also cleared by all the top lawyers in Bangalore. We are happy to share the PAN details with your customers. We also have interesting designs that no one has thought about in terms of streets, gardens, design, community public life. Making, if I want to, in this place like Singapore, that's what we're trying to create here. Design with around the trees. We have beautiful trees, hundreds of beautiful trees are there, grown already. Some of the trees are 25 years old, which means that some of the trees, if you have to go into new community, will take about 25 years to grow. So by the time 2045, I don't know how many of us will still be in the community. So we will be able to get all those things here. So we also have a lot of plans for storing water and making it really interesting. So we have those designs also available. You have seen some of these things with us. Now, to make the community life interesting, we added a lot of these community hubs. I have about 20 people who filled the form. Another 18 people are, all right, about 26 people have filled the form, and I have about 18 more people to go. Kindly finish filling the form. We'll be more than happy to take the questions after that. So if you have any questions, kindly let me know. We'll be more than happy to answer. So the costing also involves the maintenance for the first couple of years. After that, the maintenance will be handed over to the community. It is not really expensive because most of the water that you're seeing from gardens and all this thing will be a recycled water that will be used. The system is set up at one time. So in other words, what we are believing is this is something that we can't live away with, which means you need plants, you need water, you need food, access to growing a healthy food. You need all these facilities within the community. Without this, we'll all be in trouble. So we need all these facilities coming into the place. All right, I will stop the form in about 45 seconds more. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer. Some of you are asking about the pricing. I'll be more than happy to answer. So we have special offer for some of the people that have come through Remax and other teams. We'll be more than happy to spend you the special pricing and offer at the end of the seminar. If you have any, if you have not given your email ID, kindly give your email ID. We'll be more than happy to share the details with you. Also some pictures and nice. You saw the videos. All the videos are available. We'll be happy to share that with you as well. All right, I am facing a problem in the video. So this is how the response is. We're really happy that you are liking what we are doing, and we appreciate your feedback. So 100% said that you like the design, you like the streets. 100% have said you like public realm. 100% said that you like spending time in gardens. Close to 70-80% have said you like our designs and having eco village. 87% said you will recommend. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. We're really happy that you're sharing this. So if you need anything else, any other questions, we're here for 10 more, for a 5 minute or 10 minutes more. We'll be happy to answer your questions. So if you have any further questions, kindly share. I will keep this poll on your screen so that you can see what we are doing and what people said.
Vamsi, somebody is asking in the chat.
I saw. I have replied.
Divya Prabha is asking about, she mentioned for the first 10 minutes. Ma'am, we have this video entire, this webinar was recorded. We'll share it to you, to your mail ID, so that you can see.